get up on your feet. What you need to do is catch up with them. Bounce, man, get up on your feet and help me get it.
Luxury brand Gucci has been hit with a backlash after sending white models down the runway in Sikh turbans to showcase its fall 2018 collection. Actor and model Avan Joja, 32, who is a dual citizen of Canada and the UK, drew attention to the issue by sharing his disappointment with the creative director Alessandro Michel's decision on Twitter. The television star, who was born Chitkara Patel Joja and has roots in Hinduism and Buddhism, fumed, "This isn't a good look for you." Could you not find a brown model? Avan's followers responded to his tweet saying Gucci had hit a new low and that it was offensive and irresponsible of the brand, with celebrity fans such as Rihanna, Blake Lively, Gigi Hadid. Many others who pointed out that the headgear, which is also known as a dastar and is an important part of the Sikh religion, should not to be used as a fashion statement. People took to Twitter in their droves to share their disgust over the use of turbans, which are mandatory for all Sikh men and women. One woman, who described herself as a practicing Sikh, said, "My blood is boiling right now. As a Sikh, I see this as a huge sign of disrespect and disregard towards Sikhism." It isn't hard to educate yourself on the significance of a turban. This isn't a mere fashion accessory. Thank you, Avan, for speaking out on this. Another angry person said, "This is unacceptable and offensive, Gucci. Wearing another religion's article of faith is not fashion, it's appropriation. Sikh men are profiled and discriminated against every day for wearing a turban. Yet when you put it on a white person, it's suddenly fashionable and cool." Others suggested that the fashion house and its creative director Alessandro Michel should have hired a Sikh model instead to avoid the controversy. The fashion house, which is yet to comment on the furor, also showcased a model carrying a baby dragon, while two others toted around lifelike replicas of their own heads, as well as others dressed in Mexican face masks during the Odd collection, which was set in an operating theater. Alessandro Michel appeared to be aiming for maximum oddity during the show, which was held at the Gucci Hub in Milan on Wednesday. From the setting, a brightly lit operating theater, complete with overhead LED lights and operating tables, to props, which included dragons, severed heads, and Mexican wrestling-inspired face masks, there wasn't a thing that didn't raise eyebrows at the seriously strange presentation. When guests arrived, they sat in what looked like an operating theater. The walls had been painted a hospital green, and even the chairs were picked to look like those used in waiting rooms. Operating tables were placed at intervals on the runway, with LED lights hung overhead. Shockingly, things only got stranger. Several models, both male and female, carried what looked like severed versions of their own heads. The nearly exact replicas gave the impression that they were toting along the heads of their identical twins. Wrestling masks weren't the only face coverings, though they showed up teamed with lacy breast-bearing tops and evening gowns. One model wore a pink lace mask, while another wore an embellished yarn piece. Several models also wore dragon brooches, with one male model even carrying what looked like a baby dragon from Game of Thrones. According to the brand, the dragon was inspired by the legend of the baby dragon in the jar, the real story of an author who staged finding a baby dragon in his garage in Oxfordshire, England. Dozens more models sported more Yankees logos, turbans, and unflattering 80s frames, but most just piled on layer after layer of clashing prints and colors. All in all, the effect was of a bunch of kids let loose in a thrift store, dressing up in as many crazy pieces as they could find. The show, which was aptly called Cyborg, was quite clearly about mixing and melding clashing parts to make a new whole.